And tonight is about social media marketing. You're welcome to put in any questions that you have in your chat, in the chat room, and then I'll address them in the end, and hopefully I can answer as many as I can. Just a few housekeeping items. You're welcome to send chat messages, take notes often. It's going to be about 30 plus minutes of presentation, and we're going to have a little bit of a brainstorming exercise. And what I like to do to my attendees, I send an exercise sheet out, a PDF after the event, so y'all could, actually take what you learn and try to apply what you learn and use it for your own marketing. So, is this for you? Are you new to social media strategies? Do you need inspiration for some strong content development? And you need to determine the best apps for your business. I would love to help you on that, and even just give you some basic tips on advertising on social media and ad spend. If you need basic understanding of analytics, this is the right workshop for you. Another disclaimer is I do have 4 kids, so this might happen to me. I am currently working from home, as many are right now with the pandemic and everything, and thanks to my husband, I'm able to do this. And so I don't know if y'all recognize this man. He was a reporter, and then his child walked in while he was being broadcasted live. So anyways, that's one of my favorite GIFs. So the main key points, I'm going to cover a little bit of my background so you know what my experience is, and some social media 101, social media content ideas, and great use of content, super content creators, and some planning and scheduling tools. So hopefully you will get a few nuggets that y'all can see. Yes, I hope you can see my screen. Are you seeing my screen? I shared my screen. Uh-oh. Thank you for telling me. Let me see here, make sure. Oh, you're only seeing my first screen. I see now, I think. Do you see my, now do you see my PowerPoint screen? Yes. That's the PowerPoint. Yes, I want that one. I definitely want the PowerPoint to just be visible, but you should be able to see my little, video too if you want. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next slide. Making sure. So here's my family picture. This is my dad and my mom. You can guess who I am. I'm all the way in the right. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. The reason why I wanted to share this is because my dad and mom were pretty much entrepreneurs since we were little, and they raised us in the best to their ability. I love them so much. I learned so much. I don't think I imagined myself running my own business, but when it came to personal reasons and out of necessity, it's been rewarding to run my own business and be able to be available for my family. My dad built a business from the ground up. He immigrated to California from the Philippines, couldn't find a job with a PhD, but he eventually built a business that became a multi-million-dollar organization. And I didn't even know it was that much until like recently, after they had pretty much closed the business and handed it over to somebody else. So I appreciate that they worked so hard to support our family. So here's me at my office that I don't really use anymore. This is Domi Station, a co-working station here in town in Tallahassee. I'm from Florida, if you don't already know that. I'm originally from California, just moved here to Tallahassee about 9-10 years. I can't believe time has flown. So here's my husband and my 4 beautiful kids. I'm super lucky to have them. It's not easy, obviously, but I really am thankful that I could be raising them now. So my clientele is consists of nonprofit organizations, tech consultants, business consultants. I've serviced financial organizations and legal organizations and retail and fashion. I've done all kinds of projects. I'm primarily a designer. I have been a designer for 50 plus years and I've done all kinds of marketing projects. So you can see the list of items of things I could do. So with all that experience, I can understand the process behind creating these things, you know, in executing your marketing strategies and communication campaigns. So my first workshop covered strategic marketing. We covered the why and the who behind your marketing strategies, why those are so important. And the second one covered integrated marketing, kind of like a big umbrella, or it covered so many different aspects of the importance of integrated marketing. And email marketing was my third workshop, which is more of, as we're kind of zeroing in on some specific arms for marketing. So that was a really good one. I know some of y'all were able to make that. And for social media today. Brings us to today for the fourth workshop. So yeah, don't forget, just go ahead and submit any, questions so that I don't forget to answer them in the end. I appreciate all your feedback even throughout the process. So anytime you can't hear me, anything that happens, just let me know. So which platforms are the best for you? You're familiar with these apps, go ahead and type in like maybe some that you are a big fan of. Like, what do you use most often and for your personal use? And what are you interested in learning about for your business? I'm curious to see what y'all type in. I'm glad you could see my face, Laura. Instagram, yeah, Instagram, definitely. Cool. So Instagram is great, and I do talk about Instagram a little bit. So here are the top apps. According to Aspire IQ, these are the top apps, and blogs, like this is just kind of a general icon that represents like how, over 10 years, blogs still generate a lot of traffic and income for websites. Yeah, LinkedIn is also very useful. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, yeah, you can see all these icons. So I'm only gonna feature some information on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, just because they're of most interest to me right now. LinkedIn is super useful too, and they might not have a huge following, but they do really well. Well, the app is doing really well right now with a lot of the most recent features that they've added. And it's cleaner now. I feel like I'm on LinkedIn more so than I used to be 5 years ago. And they have a great potential for organic content sharing. I'm starting to see more businesses utilize LinkedIn as well. But as far as, Instagram, you got 1+ billion users, and brands, bloggers, small business owners are on there. It's useful for teens through the ages of 40. Of course, there's actually quite a few that are above 40 that are on there, but it's the bulk of their audience falls between the teens and the 40s. So, if your business is highly visual, it's ideal for lifestyle influencers, e-commerce sites. They've just added a shop function now that you can sell products directly to your fans. So that's pretty amazing. And a photographer, of course, videographer, the creative industry benefits greatly on Instagram. And YouTube, what's neat about YouTube is you think like, oh, it's been around for so long, it's probably not relevant anymore. It keeps growing. It keeps growing. 2+ billion users. It's the second most used for search engine, like behind Google. And that is just fascinating because you've got a wide range of users. It's not just between 15 to 34-year-olds, as I've listed here. It actually is being used by little kids. I could even testify, like my little kids still go there all the time to watch all kinds of educational accounts, and then my daughter loves like LOL, you know, things like that. But yeah, I mean, under the age of 50, that's the bulk of the users, and then they can, you know, they highly consume video content for education and entertainment. Now Facebook. I know it gets controversial because of so many, I mean, I think more than half the content can be really annoying that's being put out there, but you have to admit they have the largest audience pool. So you really can't ignore that. And especially at a local level, I feel like I see a lot more engagement with people at a local level. So you can really connect with people on Facebook groups, you know, different type of niche communities within your proximity. So it is the largest social media site, and the ages for 30 and up, which is like my generation and up. Some of you are probably too young for that. It's really ideal. And personally, I have not purchased anything directly from Facebook ads or anything like that, but I still go there just to connect with my friends and my family from long distance. So at Instagram, I've purchased more, and I didn't include the statistic, but Instagram, there's a higher chance of someone purchasing off of an ad through Instagram than on any other platform. And TikTok, the case for TikTok, the reason why I included TikTok, even though it's the new kid on the block and it's been only a couple of years, they've had massive growth, and there's 800+ million users. So the audience is from 16 to 24, but they actually have a good bulk of teens. Like even my daughter has gotten access. She's about to turn 13. You're supposed to be 13 now, but little kids like her age, the tweens, have figured out how to get on there, and she had to recreate her account like a couple times because they kept kicking her off. But anyways, so yeah, I think there's something to TikTok. Yes, there are some security, there's questions on security. There are some things that are out there in the news, but it's good to watch just for the sake of being aware of what's out there for social media. Okay, so best practices. I always like to say keep it simple, stupid, because people overcomplicate things with their message, and it really is the best when you just simplify everything. Your post, you know, what is your main goal? You need to consider, you know, how does it affect your brand persona, and how does it relate and connect with the audience that you're trying to talk to and communicate with. Make sure you educate, you entertain, trigger positive emotions. It really depends on what your goals are. And the other important thing is video is huge. So that's why every single app is starting to add those features. They need to make it video friendly. Stories are huge too. So make sure you plan for those kinds of things. This is my mantra. These are my creative principles. Very similar, you know, just understand your brand story. Say more with less. Less is more with design, and understand the difference between, you know, your first attempt at creating something versus the next version or to the final version. You want to always look at something with fresh eyes and think of, how can I improve this post, or how can I improve what I've said? So it's good to come up with drafts first. And even though I've been a designer for so long and I'm a huge fan of great creative design work, content is king. Designers need direction. Designers need the actual main point and concept and content for them to visualize something. So that really helps. And we got to test and analyze what's working out there and what really resonates with people. So KPIs, if you're not familiar with it, key performance indicators, these are the measurement, these are the types of metrics you're going to look for to see, what is effective, with traffic, how big is the number with views, and how many people actually click on your content, are people actually watching it. Every app has a different measurable, type of insight. And so I love how Instagram has those insights. I love Facebook's like super robust analytics system. So there's different tools you can use to kind of capture and summarize a lot of this. But anyways, I won't get to cover those types of tools, but I'll cover some other tools that should help you along the line. So this is one example. This is a screen capture of my account in the last month. I just figured, hey, I can just highlight these numbers. I used video, I did live streams, I tested a lot, and I did some paid ads for some of my events. And I used Facebook tips and guides. It's really helpful because all these apps are constantly changing. Their features, their formats, they're always changing. So you have to keep up with that. And sometimes other media companies can't keep up with that. So it's good to follow these apps' guides, and then also use a lot of the educational material that the top schedulers, top tools, social media tools, and communities are pushing out. Because as things change with these apps, you need to make changes as well to your workflow and to the sizing of the graphics or whatever you needed to do to meet requirements for each app. Okay, so content super creators. I have a subscription to trends.co, and this is really helpful. I know it's a lot of text, but these are great examples of people, and they're all on different accounts. Like Mr. Beast is on YouTube. I don't follow him, but I heard about him through my kids. Like they just love the stuff he puts out on YouTube. Who's heard of Mr. Beast? You could put in the chat. Yeah, I've seen his stuff. Like he does these crazy contests and gives tons of money to people to do crazy stunts. Like I think I saw something the other day. Right, he does giveaways. And it generates millions of views. So and then David Dobrik, I know he's huge on TikTok. I see a lot of his stuff. And there's all the other media. These are like new media folks that are kind of disrupting the traditional media on TV and other kinds of channels. But these are the ones who produce unique content that gets people to share and pretty much watch their stuff or look at their stuff. So it's good to learn from them to see what is actually impactful. Yeah, so here's an example. Mr. Beast, he has 39 million subscribers. That's just ridiculous. That's like I've seen people with 1 million subscribers or a couple million, but the 39 million, he's making millions now just by doing crazy, stupid videos. So, I mean, you could say anyone and everyone could come up with unique content on social media or accounts like YouTube and eventually make income out of it, which is really fascinating. I follow Jay Shetty. He's pretty amazing. I like his stuff. He has 27 million followers. I see him everywhere, Instagram and Facebook. The reason why I'm bringing him up is because he does a great job with just making messages that are so motivational and educational, and he does good quality work. He'll like produce a story, like a real story. He'll hire actors and actresses, and they enact a real story that happened, and everyone just watch. I just watch it and I read the captions, even though I'm not listening to the sound. And he puts like this like meditational music background, and you're just like, wow, I can learn so much. And, you know, it's really amazing that he went from nothing to this. Like he's probably making a decent amount, and he interviews some of the most famous people on the planet. And he's just, yeah, I heard the story that he tried to pitch his idea of something along the lines of, you know, meditation and to traditional media companies, but they said, there's no way you're going to make money off of this. This is like a dumb idea. He got rejected over and over again, but he kept pushing for it. And thanks to social media, he put his content out there and he has a huge following, and now he's making a lot of money out of that. So the reason why I highlight these people is you can watch what people do, the successful social media influencers out there, and just reuse their techniques. Not so much their content, not the message so much, but reuse their technique, and you'll get more traction out of your content. So just some basic tips that I also wanted to add is you can have a big following and not generate income. So it doesn't matter. I've heard it over and over again with experts. Just because you have a big following, and there's been many that have grown a following and have had to manage big social media accounts and not make money out of it. So it's really important to be strategic with what you use your pages for. You don't want to eventually create a huge following and have to manage interacting with people all day and every day and not monetize. So yeah, think about that. And organic posts are not enough in some cases, especially with Facebook, because there's so much competition for ad space, ad buys and everything, and even to be spit out into the feed well enough. So you have to really put in elements like video to get more traction for those posts. And frequency is no longer, it used to be like, if you've heard of Gary Vee, it used to be like, oh, just spit content constantly every day and all day. But now, you know, you could get penalized for that kind of thing. And so you have to be watchful, and some accounts or some, like Instagram might respect that, but it's better if you don't like do it too much. It's good to do a variety. I feel like for my followers, I have a bigger following on Facebook. And Instagram, I don't have a big following because I didn't invest a ton of time into Instagram, but now I am. But I'd rather just like have a nice looking feed and then put more stories that aren't like super pretty or anything, like just more authentic posts. Okay, let's create a post idea. So it doesn't necessarily have to follow these suggestions here, but you can, you know, grab your pen and paper, or you can even just put it in the chat. Consider what's happening now today in society. Obviously, there's all kinds of things, you know, with a pandemic. What kind of problems are out there? You know, think about your current client or your boss or your company that you work for. Think about what it is that you feel like their market needs, you know, and write that down. Like what kind of problems? So for me, I just use an example. Like for me, JHC has opened up free workshops for struggling businesses. It used to be paid in the beginning, and I realized when the, you know, pandemic and the shutdown started happening, I was like, oh, I really don't think it's a good time to be charging right now. I'm gonna wait it out and just offer my workshops for free to help people out. So what are you providing to help people out? Like, what are you able to do, you know? And looks like the second wave is about to hit America, especially in Florida, pretty badly. What are you considering that you can communicate out there on your accounts? So here, you know, think about the content types, like I mentioned earlier. Educate, entertain, inspire, announce, promotional. So these are the types of content that you can consider. Now, educational is always great. People love to learn, and especially on social media. Entertainment, I feel like more people need that right now. I feel like more people need happy entertainment, like humor can go a long way now, because right now, obviously, it's not the most positive time for many. So we have to be considering that. And inspirational, like some positive inspirational story that's happening in your town that no one else has heard about. in your life, in your company, what can you share out there that fits your brand? And then think about your main message. You know, are you going to be, at least in my, I guess I could say for my main message, if I were to, you know, mine would be educational, obviously. And if I were to do it more often, posting a video out there just saying, hey, I'm here for you. I'm thinking about all the small businesses out there. And I just wanted to let you know I'm here to help. If you need any advice, just give me a call. Just be genuine and be authentic with your message. As far as humor, I love GIFs. And so I really, I highly recommend GIFs because there's a lot of funny content out there that's already been made. So all you have to do is look it up and you plan for it and schedule it. So I hope if there's anyone who wants to volunteer and just put it in the chat, like, is there anything that you've considered of what you could do as a post idea for your business, or maybe just something new you want to announce? Don't forget to include your call to action too. If it's an event, you know, include a link to sign up for your event. Some people forget to do that. All right, so some of the other fun stuff. We're moving right along. Tools, platform recommendations. Now, we talked about the social media apps. Now, I use Trello as a collaboration tool. These are the top 5 according to Capterra, and Capterra is an awesome website that compares a lot of software tools out there. So I use Slack for team communication, and these are some other great apps used for collaboration. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this just so that you guys could see. I was thinking of going through quickly, but here's a screenshot of my Trello for content management. Let's see if it'll let me. Yes, okay. So really quickly, so you can see my process, when I am putting together content with my team, we figured, okay, we're gonna spit out our ideas and throw them all into Slack first. So Slack is a great communication tool, and we throw a lot of our ideas into the Slack channels, and then our thoughts are organized in an outline form here on Google Docs. And what I love about it is, like, you could bounce around. They have a great navigation function where you could bounce around the document really fast. Then after the content is approved in the Google Doc, then we move things over into Trello, and then we start planning things out. But at the same time, my design group, this is mainly the folders, but let's see, for example, if I were to just go into my mood board, this is my June mood board, but then the design group starts putting together some drafts of graphics. And that goes through another approval process. And I have to approve it first before it goes into Trello, because it saves a lot of back and forth between the team members, and it also saves us from making a huge mistake. So then after things are approved on both ends for the writing content, we merge everything into Trello with the image, and then in the within the card, we call it, we put the content in here, and then as we put it all together, then we kind of make sure we have all the elements in place. Like, here's a checklist of caption items, make sure we have the right hashtags, and did we include a call to action? Those things are very important to have, because in the end, it saves you so much time when everything is pulled together, and then you kind of look to see, okay, how's this gonna look together on Instagram before you actually put it in, you know? So then you have a visual reference, and then you plan how your different apps are gonna be pushing out the content. And this is what it looks like now. And I finally, like, it's been 2 to 3 months now where I've been investing in making the account look more professional, and I'm super happy with the results. Then after it's approved within Trello, we move everything into our scheduler. And there's quite a few schedulers out there, but the few that can actually push out to Instagram and Facebook is Planoly and Later. And I know there's another one, but I use Planoly just because it was highly recommended by an influencer that I followed. And so I just went ahead and tested it out. I really liked it. And you can do all kinds of things. You can move your content around and plan for it. And what I also love is that they have a great feature that shows you the best times to post. And it actually will generate the feedback based on how many users are on your account. Or when are they the most engaged on Instagram. So then we schedule these things out. They have a library that saves all my hashtags. So, you know, like I don't have to retype it every single time. I could just add it by clicking on this because I have my library of hashtags in here. And it just makes the process so much more efficient. And that's what I love about the scheduler of Planoly. Okay, so now it's about 8:38. I want to make sure that we give you guys enough time to ask questions. So yeah, here as a quick recap, I hope you feel like you're more comfortable to identify which apps to use for either your future use or for your current use with your business that you're with. And you know, I hope you have some kind of idea of what to do for content. If you need more clarity, of course, include a question in the chat and we can talk about those things. And then we had some great examples of content producers, and I'll be planning on sending a printable out. And as far as a giveaway contest, I was actually planning on, this is what we can do. Why don't you, how many of y'all are there? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I guess just type in a number, guess between 1 to 10. And I'm gonna pull up a number generator real quick. So I'm gonna generate a new number. Drum roll, please. Did anyone go? Is there anyone closer to 5? Sanzina, I think she's the closest. Right? Am I wrong? I think Sanzina's the closest. Congratulations, Sanzina. So I was just gonna, I will send you my packet of, pretty much it was a packet of all my branded worksheets. So I will send you a packet of fillable PDFs that can help you organize your marketing. So I hope you can benefit from that, and I will email you that in the next 24 hours. Congratulations. Does anyone have questions? We have about 20 minutes.